All right, guys, welcome back to this week's video on the Piscifun YouTube channel. My name's Eric Hadia. I'm a full-time fishing guide, and what we're doing right now is we are up on the upper part of Big Bay and Little Bay de Noc, and it's mid-April, and we are fishing for pre-spawn smallmouth bass. What's cool about the Upper Peninsula of Michigan is they have an early catch and release bass season. So what we like to do is come up into these big bays, up into the shallow water where there's rivers or creeks or dirty water, or anywhere the wind's blowing up into your shallow bays. That's where we always start. We look for the warmest water, and then we start. And this time of the year, at the beginning of the season, which is mid-April, so the water temps, we just rolled up here, they're like 46, 47 degrees, which isn't bad. Anytime the water temps are like over 45 degrees, that is go time for big smallmouth. My favorite time to fish smallmouth is when it's 45 to 55 degrees. They're pre-spawn, they're sliding up, and they're putting the feed bag on. What I want to do is just go over a couple of the reel combos that I have and the line setups that are just going to catch you some really big smallmouth. And probably the staple in the way I fish this tube is going to be one. Now this is just a standard small tube. I've got anywhere from, and I'll use an 1/8 ounce at times, a jig head when I'm fishing real shallow. I'll use a 3/16, a quarter, and even at times out deeper, I'll use a 3/8 ounce. So it really just depends on the depth I'm fishing is going to dictate the weight and the size of the jig head. And a lot of the mistakes I see when guys get in the boat with me and they start fishing a tube and fishing for smallmouth, I'm just going to sit down and be a little lazy and show you this, is we're just going to make a little cast right here. And let's say you just bombed it out a long ways, right? I always check my drag, and a lot of guys I see like overworking it or popping it a little bit too much. So there's two techniques I like to do. One, it's like the drag. So you just basically, you reel down, you pull it a little bit, and at the end I might just a little pop and hold, reel down and pull. And there's always tension in the rod tip, always tension in the line, not dropping real quick and all that. So pull down and just a little pop at the end, reel down, give it a little pull, and just wait, and dunk, you feel that bite and set the hook. The other way I'll fish a bottom bait, and when I mean a bottom bait, any bait that's going to hit the bottom. So it could be a Ned rig, could be a tube, could be a smaller like paddle tail or a crayfish imitating bait. And that is, I'll cast it out. If I'm fishing the Ned or I'm fishing a dark sleeper or a different type of bait, I'll reel it, pull it, and reel down, and just a little pop, reel down. That goby, a lot of these fish are eating gobies or crayfish, and they make a little skirt when they take off. So just a little pop. And you can catch them like that with a tube. So it's just kind of your own personal preference. Mix up your technique, whether you're doing the drag technique or the little drag and little pop technique, that's going to work. Andy and I always like to use a jerk bait. And if you go with, a mega bass, any of the mega bass jerk baits, they're fantastic. A Rogue, those are what we're using most of the time. Paired up, and the standard rod and reel combo that we're both using, it's kind of like a 7-foot medium to medium light, depending on what we're throwing. Like a tube, I like a medium rod. And this has 10-pound Power Pro, 10 or 12 pound. If there's a lot of zebra mussels around and rock, I'll use 12-pound test fluorocarbon on the tube and 10-pound Power Pro. And if there's not a lot of rock, I like 10-pound tests if there's a lot of sand and stuff like that. Paired up with the Piscifun Carbon X. I'm using the 2000 right here, but I also have the 3000. What's great about the Carbon X Piscifun reels is they have a super smooth drag. They have 10-ball bearings, and most importantly for all you guys that are like me, you're getting a really good reel for your money. It's durable. It lasts all 4 seasons long. I've caught king salmon, tarpon, all sorts of fish on them. So check out in the link below if you're looking to buy one of these Piscifun reels. You'll save yourself some money on one of the Piscifun reels. And last but not least, one of my favorite things to do is right here. I like a football head jig. Guys, this is probably my favorite bait to throw, is a football head jig and a 4-inch paddle tail. And just kind of just reeling. Sometimes I'll just straight reel, or I'll crank and I'll pause and hold it. Crank, pause. So the bait swims up, falls down, and you hold it. And that's usually when they hit it. You crank it, you hold it, you feel it hit bottom, and then dunk, you feel the bite. Or just straight retrieving it. You know, the other baits that are gonna work is like a rattle trap. You can burn spinner baits, but when the water's cold, remember this, when the water is cold, sometimes you have to fish slow. So your bottom baits, your hair jigs, fishing like a marabou jig, just slowly reeling that in. Those are the baits that we're using to try to put the meat down, beat down, smack down, crack down on some big bait and knock, little bait and knock with my right hand man, Andy. So enough talking. Are you ready to do some fishing, Andy?
Yes.
All right. You heard Andy. He said yes. So that means I got to put him on some fish or else. Here we go.
Got him? Got a boy.
Big one.
Big one?
Yep.
Good job.
Turn that radio off.
Yep.
Nothing like starting off the day for this week's video. We are trying to catch big smallmouth bass. And mission accomplished. That is a big smallmouth bass. That right there is a nice big smallmouth. I'm guessing, where's that bump board? Can you hand me that bump board real quick? I'm gonna say that right there is almost 20, 19 3/4 inches. Let's take a peek here. Oh yeah, look at that, Andy.
There you go.
19 3/4 inches. Right there.
Time.
Got him.
There you go. Netter? Leave it in the water? Got it. You got another one out in front of you.
Cast to him. Stay right up here. Come right up here next to me if you want. Wherever you're more comfortable. Fish number 2. Calm conditions. So these fish, we are actually in 4 feet of water. And we are just scoping individual 1 or 2 fish that I'm seeing. And scoping is just using the live scope to look around, cover water. You see one, you cast to it, and just like that, I saw him get behind it, and was like, wait a second, I wanted to make sure my GoPro was rolling. So I think Andy might see one now. So they seem to be pretty good sized fish too. He's on it. He's on it. Got him. Man. He a big smallie. Big smallie, I think.
Yeah.
Come on. No. Damn it.
What is it?
It's a big walleye again. I got him.
You got it? Yeah.
Accidentally catching big walleyes. Tricked me for a second. I thought maybe it's a smallmouth. Nope. I wonder if I'm missing my tail.
had a couple of followers. There you go.
That's got to be a walleye or pike.
Staying down.
Big walleye.
You want the net?
I got it.
You got it?
It's another big accidental walleye. Jeez. I mean, it's cool. It's cool to catch these big walleyes when you're fishing for bass. Again, that's probably another 30-incher. Let's see here. 29 inches, guys. And that time I was just doing a retrieve, pause, smallmouth, walleyes, any predator fish. You stop it, you pull it, you stop it, you pull it. That seems to trigger them into biting sometimes. Oh, I got bit right away. Or I bumped one. Or I bumped one.
What you got?
Just another walleye. Big small.
That?
I got it. See, that's what's crazy. Is very next cast, catch 2 walleyes, right? 2 walleyes on the paddle tail and the football head jig. Heard me talk about it before. Paddle tail football head jig. It's the way to go. Look at that. Nice big 5+ pound smallmouth. All right, guys. That one's got a scar. Big, fat, just shy of 21 inches. Gotta let those big old smallmouth go. See you later, buddy. There he goes. It's been fun. We've had to work for him, though. It's been kind of a grind. It's flat calm, been calm all morning, and the key seems to be finding the warmest water, right? And then it's 49 degrees right now. We got 49 degree, and the scattered weeds right here, not really seeing a lot of fish. And if I do, let me turn. The fish kind of look like that in the weeds. That looks like a single fish. There's another fish way out there at 70 feet. So that's what we're seeing. You can't really tell if they're a walleye or a smallmouth or a gar or a pike. So you just cast in there and throw the paddle tail, throw the jerk bait, throw the tube or a bottom bait, and hang on. we want right there, guys. Nice big smallies. It's on it.
You need a hand?
Nope.
Oh,
Maybe I do. Let's try that again. Boat flipping, 4 3/4 5-pounders. Right there, that's what we like. Nice fatties. There he is. Nice one.
into that.
I think so. Nice fish.
Got him.
Good. Smallie?
Yep.
Oh, nice one. Come on up. Andy's got a good one. Nice. Nice.
Dumped it. Yeah. Hit the camera. There we go.
Definitely not been fast and furious.
No.
All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this week's video. Pre-spawn, smallmouth bass fishing. Come up here to Little Bay to Knock, Big Bay to Knock. A great place to vacation. Great place to get away from the crowds if you don't like fishing where there's a lot of boats, because we have not seen a boat all morning. We've been out here for a half a day, and what we're going to do now is we're going to pull the plug. We're going to run back down to Wisconsin. We're actually going to go do some walleye fishing down in the Menominee River, Peshtigo, and O'Connell River on our way home tonight. But thanks for watching this week's video. My man Andy and I put the meat down, beat down, smack down, crack down on some beautiful smallmouth bass and some incidental walleyes up here in Big Bay to Knock. Thanks for watching this week's video. Subscribe. Don't forget to like the channel.